I think you know what time it is. Yes, it's now time to rank all the Spider-Man movies from my favorite to my least favorite. Now, I kind of forgot how many there were. There's actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 9 films now. And then with Across the Spider-Verse coming out soon, that's going to be 10. And of course, if you don't count, well, you can't really count Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, even though he does appear in those two movies. And I'm making this list after having only seen No Way Home once. So let's just jump right in. And I think that I know the easiest one to do right away, which is this one. Boop. I'm sorry if there's fans of TASM 2 out there, all 5 of you, but this movie is bad. So bad, in fact, I think this is what caused Disney to be like, hey, can we use Spider-Man? And then Civil War was a couple years after this. Basically nothing about it worked. The whole plot with his parents and the villains were awful. Like, Jamie Foxx's Electro in this was just, what was that? Also, their version of Harry Osborn was really bad, too. And, I mean, Rhino? Rhino is basically a meme character. I kind of wanted to see him in No Way Home just for the heck of it, just for the lulz. Basically, that movie doesn't work on any level except for Andrew Garfield. I think Andrew Garfield could have been a great Spider-Man, but he was just given the wrong material. And by the way, I am going to actually talk not light spoilers. There are pretty big spoilers for No Way Home. But speaking of Andrew Garfield, I can't do this list without mentioning his appearance in No Way Home. I think that movie 100% redeemed him. He finally got his chance to shine as Spider-Man. Maybe this will make them do TASM 3. I highly doubt it, but I kind of want to see more appearances from him after No Way Home. And then I'm gonna do both TASM movies first because they're the easiest to rank. The next one, I'm gonna do TASM 1. It's still really bad, but I don't think it's F tier. Is it D tier though? I think I'm gonna put it here for now. It was just plain stupid. Like Lizard and like his grand plan turning everyone into lizards was just absurd. Again, I didn't like any of the whole plot about his parents. Honestly, I think the best part about these movies are Andrew, like I said, and then the casting for Uncle Ben and Aunt May were great. Sally Field as Aunt May, I think, was pretty inspired casting. And I like Rhys Ifans. Like, I like him in the Harry Potter movies. He looks like he's going to be great in the new Kingsman. I mean, I know he's done a lot more than that, but he's great in basically everything he does. So Rhys Ifans was kind of wasted in this movie. And I'm not the biggest fan of Emma Stone, but I think she did an admirable job as Gwen Stacy in these movies. But, I mean, there's a reason they never made a third one. So let's just move on from those, and then I think I'm going to do... Let's do... Into the Spider-Verse. That's an excellent movie. I think it's going to have to go... Oh, man, that's tough to... I don't know if I should go for S or A. Oh, that's tough. Because I remember walking out of that movie just loving it. But I'm sure there's problems with it. It's been so long since I've seen it. Now, let's just keep it at A for now. And then let's get to the Tobey films. Spider-Man 3, there is stuff in it that I like, but overall it is kind of a mess. But it's not Amazing Spider-Man 1 bad, and it's definitely not, doesn't deserve to be an F, so I think that's going to go at C. Let's go with Tobey's Spider-Man 1, I think still holds up quite well. I think it goes up with Into the Spider-Verse. I'm not sure if it's S tier. This next one is easy. A lot of people say that, and maybe sentiment could be turning now these days, but for the most part, everyone says Spider-Man 2 is like one of the best superhero movies ever made. And it's been a while since I've seen it, but from what I remember, I do think it's probably the best one. So that'll go at S. Let's do No Way Home now. I think this is going to be tough because I really, really love this movie, but there are significant plot problems. I loved basically all the character stuff. Except there's a little few things with Doctor Strange I didn't love. But overall, I think the character stuff was excellent. And that outshines some of the plot problems. But then again, some of the plot problems are not, like, they can't be ignored. But I have to put it at A, I think. It's got to go with those two. Far From Home, I think I'm going to have to put at B. I think it's better than Spider-Man 3 and these two. I liked Mysterio as a villain. It's not a perfect movie. There's some plot holes in there and some contrivances and things that don't make sense. But I remember walking out of that movie loving that. Some of the stuff with the glasses I think doesn't work. Like the scene where he almost kills the dude on the bus and nobody notices. Like nobody sees this missile strike coming in. I remember that being really stupid. The mechanics of how some of the holograms work too are kind of unexplained and a little bit confusing on how they work. For example, like when that big water creature is like attacking Europe, I think people are still getting wet, and I'm just wondering how they're doing that when it's just a bunch of drones that can shoot and they're projecting this image. But how are they moving water and like throwing it onto people? I don't know. Now, this might be controversial to some people. I don't understand the hate for this movie, for Homecoming, but it's going to go pretty high on my list. Man, I don't know what... It's going to have to either be an A or S. I know I'm probably going to get some hate for that, but oh, that's the wrong one. I think it has to go an A. No, an A. Oh man, I just know I'm gonna switch around these S and A a lot. I can't stop it here because I know I'm gonna change my mind any second now. Because I understand the criticisms from the hardcore comics people for Spider-Man. For years now, people have criticized Tom Holland for, oh, he's not enough like Spider-Man. He's Iron Boy. He gets all his tech from Iron Man. He didn't build his own suit. But some of those things I don't agree with. Iron Man is honestly barely in Homecoming, and he helps him a couple of times, but Iron Man does not help him in his final fight against Vulture. It's him on his own. And I think Vulture is one of the MCU's best villains. Like, top 5. I think Tom Holland's performance is probably the weakest here. I think he gets better with each movie. One of the things that kind of annoyed me about this movie is he's screaming a lot. He's constantly yelling because he's talking to Tony, or like talking to his suit a lot too in this movie. And he's doing that like he's trying to do like a 15-year-old sounding voice, because at the time that he made this he was like 22 or 23, and so he's trying to sound younger. So it just comes off as like ear-piercingly annoying sometimes. And also Zendaya kind of irritated me in this movie and a little bit in Far From Home, but I think she's much better in No Way Home. She just seems so disinterested in everything. I think her character improved a lot when she found out that Peter was Spider-Man. But now I'm going to have to sit here and deliberate because I know I'm going to change this around. I'm going to want to put No Way Home up here. I'm going to probably want to move Spider-Man 2. I know there's some problems in Spider-Man 2, like the bank scene especially. Oh, this is tough. See, my heart says to do this, but my brain says to do this. But then my brain also says this, because I'm not sure if there is an S-tier Spider-Man movie. But this might be the closest? I don't know. This is really hard. These, I think, are pretty set. I don't know if there's any changing these. If this was a meme list, like which one has the best memes? Obviously 3. Boom. S-tier. But that's not what we're doing. It's a wonderfully memeable movie, but it's not a great one. Am I being too harsh on this? Should this be E? I kind of don't even like E. Because E is not a letter grade. So let's just pretend E is not there and just have F. D then F. Oh, man. No Way Home did so much so well. Bringing in a lot of the stuff from the Raimi films. That's why I'm wondering if the Raimi films should go up here too, because they're so intertwined. Oh, I screwed. This shouldn't be. This should be. Oh, this is tough. And again, I'm leaning more towards did the movies handle the characters well? Because there's plenty of movies that have a bad plot, but the characters are handled so well you just can't help but like it. Like, for example, The Suicide Squad. That movie's plot, there's some problems with it, but the characters are just so darn likable and the character work is so good that you want to give it a higher score. So it's not like I'm going to make a plot list and a character list. But if we were going on characters alone, I think this would be S, but like I said, there's some glaring plot issues. So I'm going to have to put... I still think this goes at A. I think the character stuff outshines the problems with the plot. I think Spider-Man 2 has fewer... Well, I don't think... it's basically... I mean, there's no multiverse, so by virtue of that, I think 2 has less problems with the plot. So I think 2 has to be at S. But now my question is... Because I think Spider-Man 1 is super good. It's super good, but it's not as good as 2. And Into the Spider-Verse, there's a lot of multiverse stuff. There's going to be issues. But the characters are very well done, so I put that on par with No Way Home. But my last question is, do I put Homecoming here too? I don't think I can. I think there are some issues in it too that hold it back. Yeah, I think that's going to go A. I think I'm okay with this list. Yeah, Far From Home is not as good as Homecoming, so it's there. And I think this is my list. And if we were including Spidey's appearances from Endgame... No, I shouldn't do that. It just complicates things. Because they aren't strictly Spider-Man movies. So yeah, if I were to number them, 1, Spider-Man 2, 2, Into the Spider-Verse, 3, Spider-Man 1, 4, No Way Home. Wait, hold on. I forgot about that because you can actually change the order on here. So A, because you can go like your first one in A, your second one in A, your third one in A. So I think I'll put this one here. No. Here. Spider-Man 1 goes here. Homecoming here. And yeah, I think that's good. So number 1. No, I changed my mind again. Oh, I'm going to change it a lot. Do I want Homecoming here? No, I think this is it. So 1, Spider-Man 2. 2, Spider-Man. 3, Spider-Man No Way Home. 4, Spider-Man Homecoming. 5, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. 6, Spider-Man Far From Home. 7, Spider-Man 3. 8, The Amazing Spider-Man. And 9, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. There you have it. That's my list. Best to worst Spider-Man movies. I'm sure we're going to get more because this movie is making ridiculous amounts of cash. So until they make another one and another one comes out and I have to update the list, that's going to be it. Go watch my Spider-Man No Way Home thoughts on that video I made if you haven't. I'm on the road to 100 subscribers, so and I've been reminding people because it actually helps. So if you like what I do here, please subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.